So last week we did an update on the 20 gallon, which is right over here. Um, and I think I did an update on the 40 gallon, but I forget how long ago that was. It probably wasn't that long, but I kind of want to come back because there are going to be some things I want to talk about, and we'll just do a comment update. Now, one thing I can say about this tank, yeah, it is we're having a little bit of bacterial bloom issue. A couple weeks ago, I accidentally cleaned both of the filters, even though I know every time that I only clean this filter. This is where all the bacteria grows in this one. So I never clean this one, but I always clean this one. But for some reason, I cleaned both, and yeah, so I screwed up and it created an algae bloom, and it always happens here and there, so no big deal. But it's clearing up. It don't look too bad, honestly. But this tank, it's honestly been not really neglected because I still give it its maintenance, but I don't give it the top-notch maintenance. It still gets water changes and all that. It just doesn't get the amount of attention that it used to be. Ever since we got this tank, I mean we can all agree that we haven't seen this tank ever. But I've been doing water changes, but I haven't been cleaning this. I actually did clean the sand not too long ago, but you can see stuff is building up on the sand again, and I actually get in there. I used to always scrub the rocks weekly. I haven't done that in a long time. I mean, it doesn't really need it, obviously you can see, but by the way, this is serious tone if anybody's watching, but a lot of the plants, you can see the lights have not been on because one of my tricks is when you have a bacteria bloom, or if your tank's white cloudy, you leave the lights on for about or leave them off for 2 or 3 days, and it actually most of the time it'll clear right up. Not all the time, it depends how serious it is, but most of the time it's just a quick algae bloom. You just leave the lights off, and the lights it keeps it, whatever is making the cloudiness, it keeps it growing, kind of like an algae. It just keeps it growing, and if you just keep the light on, it's gonna keep growing, and it's not gonna ever go away. So that's kind of my trick. But as you can see, it's turning brown. Some of this, so for this next tank, this 30 gallon, when I plan to use these, I don't know if this one will get used because this is just dying basically. So I might have to, just take it. It sucks. I don't want to throw it out, but there's, I can't. Nobody really can use it. I can't use it. So, this tank really isn't getting the lights turned on as it should. So, I can't, do nothing about it. But these are looking real good. This Nubius, nice and green. Can't complain. And there's also some Nubius I propagated from the other tank. I put it in the filter just so it making some weird noise. But yeah, it's just in the filter so it gets water still. Holy cow, this thing. Definitely need to clean out this filter floss. You see how high the water is. Do that after this video. But yeah, basically in this filter, all the bacteria stuff, like all the matrix, all the biochemical media is in this filter, and then obviously plus a filter floss. This one is basically just holds all sponges. That's all. It's all sponges, and I think I have, what's it called? I used to have some Kimmy here in there. I don't know why I'm blanking out on the stuff, but there's some other stuff in there. It's like making all kinds of noise. But the main thing I wanted to talk about before I get off topic, these S-Repins. As you can see, there's gaps between them again. Like, they look like I just planted them or something. You see all the gaps between each one. It used to be a full bush, just like the one, that's been created over there. What's been happening is the lights haven't been turned on, so the S-Repins have been dying, basically melting away. And as you can see, look, it's just no leaves at all. Like, you can just clearly see, like, there's this, it used to be a big old lush thing of S-Repins, and sadly I don't think I can save them at this point. They're just the lights haven't been turned on. I can't it's basically just a done deal basically, so I might have to just rip these out and just be done with it. But it's gonna suck because I had such a nice bush going. It took a year to grow because this is not a very bright light tank. It's very low light. But it's just kind of what it is. When I moved, I planned on tearing all this out anyways, so and not reusing it. So I didn't think it was gonna last long anyways. But yeah, those are probably gonna have to get removed. That will get removed definitely back there. Don't know about that one yet, but the Nubias will stay. Those do good in the light. So those always grow real well. But everything, I mean, everything else is doing fine. Everything keeps clean. I keep all the equipment. All the intakes get scrubbed. I just clean, all the impellers, and to say. I just cleaned out this thing because this hasn't been cleaned in a while. It started getting some weird growth on the out, so now it's all cleaned. It usually stays pretty clean though. It never gets real dirty, but I had to get a little scrub action going on that a while back. But sand, I mean, it looks good. It's just we get some crud buildup back here from the plant. All the dead plants are decaying, and that's what's making those piles of stuff on the substrate. So definitely need to figure out this tank. There's still a lot of fish in here. Obviously, we stocked it like months ago, but you can see there's lots of fish in here. But definitely in the comments if you guys want to see more videos on this tank, definitely let me know. I'm trying to go back and forth, but it's hard not to talk about this tank when it's so much better. Just looks wise. I mean, this one everybody can admit the scape looks really good. It's a serious stone. You don't see like a tank like this ever, but it's kind of just this tank became kind of irrelevant, sadly, but it used to be, the only thing I had, and we would put everything I had into this tank, so that's why it looks so good. But definitely need to start, giving equal care. But I just have so much money wrapped in that, and the fish I have in there, that it's hard not to focus on that tank more. Which we can all agree that we don't want to, especially that puffer, we don't want anything happening to it, especially how much money it cost, and the money we have in that whole entire tank together as a whole. So but yeah, basically what's basically gonna happen is this tank was never made for plants, so most likely all those are gonna get taken out. That's gonna taken out. That one, I'll look at it. I might just leave it in there. But when this clears up, I'm gonna start trying to put the tank on light again and see if I can trim out all the dead ones and leave it in there and just see how good see if it can grow a little more, or at least grow back and look at least somewhat decent. But yeah, that's basically nothing really else to discuss. I still using the same fluval light on here. People always ask, like in my very old videos from like 3 years ago when I first set up this tank, me cutting out the center brace. It's still going strong 3 years later, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it blows up any day, but I don't plan on it, but it's probably something that's going to happen. But this tank will basically get upgraded in this other house. I don't know when that's going to exactly happen because it's going to cost a lot, because I plan on getting like a 65 rimless to, basically just take this fish. It'd be like a whole new scape, so we wouldn't even use the same scape, but it'd be like a 65 rimless, because I'm really liking these rimless tanks now. Don't know if it'd be on the same dresser, but definitely want to think about upgrading this in the near future, because this tank ain't gonna hold on really much longer. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. I mean, if you guys want to donate, help, because your donations really help with setting up these new tanks coming up in the next year. So that's basically what's helping me and these donations. We already got a couple people that's donated. It's gonna really help pay for these next tanks. It just helps me and creates videos a little bit easier because we have more of a variety to film. But other than that, #FishFam, and I'll see you guys on the next one.